All right, so I'm working on this. I'm trying to get this taped up here. Let's see what we got. Just try to more shot under there. All right. Use some of the bigger tape. This thing actually, I could probably cut that off. I don't know if I'm going to, but this is an automatic on the steering column that I don't want. I have a hold on 1 second here. I have this shifter here. It's a B&M shifter that I'd like to use. I'm putting a, I can't think what it's called. It's a, I don't really know what it's called, but it's a 4-speed transmission that I'm putting in it. This is for 4 speeds. So I really want to put this in. So that's what I'm going to work on. So because I really don't need this part right here, so I may cut it off. Of course, you know, once you cut that off, you ruin that piece, but there's no sense having it there. And then the piece inside, you know, I'm gonna just take it off for the time being. Maybe down the road, I'll maybe replace that little sleeve in there. But for the time being, I just want to just get it up and running, get it going, then we can work on fine tuning stuff. All right, let's get this taped up here. And so I don't spray paint it. So I'm doing this. There we go, got that much there. I'll do this just for the heck of it here. Although I'm sure I'm going to chop it off there. But at the same time, as you will see, when I'm working on this truck, I am not a pro. I just do it, enjoy doing it, and that's it. I just painted my first vehicle. I used to paint vehicles way back in the day when I was young. In fact, I even used to paint train cars, but that's a long time ago. I'm 64. I think I was like early 20s then. And I have a bad memory. I really can't remember any of that. So I just painted my first truck. I think I got done with it about a month and a half ago. It didn't turn out quite as well as I'd liked. I messed it up several times. Had to redo some of it, and still got to go back and redo some of it. I painted for my great grandson, but I enjoyed it. And, you know, I'm learning as I go. I'm pretty good with mechanical stuff, but same thing there. I have a lot to learn, so I'm not going to fuss about it. I'm just going to go on and do it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Okay, so here's what I use, that self-etching primer, Rust-Oleum. Works pretty good. This is something I learned about years ago. Now, of course, this is out of a spray can, but when I used to paint big trucks and train cars, we used self-etching primer, but, you know, you used a spray gun to put it on with, and, you know, I'm not going to break that out just for this little bit here, you know. All it is just to keep it from rusting, because it's bare metal. They always suggest, you know, doing this for that reason, especially you got a project like this. It's going to take a long time. It's not like this is going to be done tomorrow. I don't know how some of these guys, it amazes me how they do these cars in a week or whatever, 2 weeks. I don't know how they do it. I'm just slow, I guess, because it takes me a long time to do this stuff. Of course, I'm at a different speed these days. Back in the day when I was young, not quicker, but I've slowed my roll, as the saying goes, since I've gotten older. Let me unlock this column. Didn't mean to do that. too bad, but it'll stay there long enough for me to get some paint on here. And then that way, that's done. Keep that from rusting. All right. That'll do that anyway. So that's one thing done. I have a lot more to do. I was working on this side here. Let me see if my camera's still set up good here. Let's see here. Yeah, so I was working on that corner right there. Like I can still feel it right there. I did just get some more sandpaper. Hoping that'll help. I got another wire brush. I wore my other wire brush down and to a nub. If I can find it here, I'll show you. I tried to get every penny I could out of that thing. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, there we go. You see, I got my money's worth out of that one. And I think it's still got some miles left on it yet, but anyway, so I did get another wire brush. I also got this Rust Reformer. I've used this before. It seems to work pretty good. You know, I'm going to try to get rid of all the rust, but, you know, some of it I probably just won't be able to. So maybe I can get that sprayed on it, and hopefully it'll convert that rust. That's what I'm hoping. I use POR15 as well, and that seems to do good. Like I said, that's what I use on my cab up there on the floor, and it's still holding up well. Still nice and shiny. It's been sitting out there for a year or so now. So let's see if this is going to do what I want it to do. It says hook and loop, but let me see here. It says hook and loop. Hope it works on my sander. Let's see if I can find it. Nah, not gonna work. I think I ruined my hook and loop on my sander. Yeah, because it's not staying on now. I've done something to it. I don't know what, but definitely. I'm gonna have to trim it or something for right now, but later I'm gonna have to get a new one on there. I don't know if you do the whole thing, you just peel that off of there. I'm not real sure. But that happened because this kind of sandpaper, I didn't realize there's two kinds. This kind, see, it's rigid, and that just hooks right on your hook and loop. The other one I have is, it's not rigid. It's like cloth almost. I'll show you here. And to me, they're just a pain. Maybe you guys don't have any problem with that. But so it gives you this little thing you use with it. But it's like a piece of cloth. See that? And it just likes to tear up and come off. And this thing's always flying off. And I really don't like these kind. They're just, they don't, and the whole thing kept flying off of here. And yeah, see, it just doesn't stick. Let me try it this way. Kept coming off. See how it just comes right off. So I don't know if maybe I could trim that with my razor. Let me see if I can find my razor. Maybe I can cut this edge off. Yeah, my razor's dull. Look at that. What do I need? I need Phillips. All right. Change that razor blade. I know that's not exciting. What are you gonna do? You gotta put a new blade on there every once in a while. I try to get as many miles as I can out of them, but there's a certain point where you gotta give it up. It's just no good anymore. Now if I can get it, two blades apart without cutting myself. Yeah, let's try I didn't bring my knife with me. All right. Maybe this will work. All right. How about the old blade? Maybe that'll work. Two of them stuck together here. Ah, there we go. All right. Put that back in there. This one on here and get it back together. This is one I've had for a long time. I try to, I don't know about everybody else. I mean, I buy new tools time to time, but I try to keep my tools. They're just so daggone expensive. It's, to me, it's just take care of them, keep for a long time, save your money. At least for me, I'm broke. So, but I mean, I buy the stuff as I need it. I mean, sometimes you got to get new things. There's nothing you can do about it, you know. All right, so let's see if I can cut the edge of this off. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Maybe it'll help that piece to stick. Maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. It's up on the edge here. Guess we'll find out. Maybe you will too. I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, that's what I like about these videos. I've learned so much stuff from these videos, watching other guys do things, and then I'm like, oh, wow, I did not realize that. And that's why I like watching these videos. You know, back in the day, so some of you old heads, you might remember when we learned something, we learned it from CarCraft or Hot Rod Magazine or one of those. You know, they come out with articles, how to paint your car, or, you know, how to weld on a panel. Of course, back in the day, like, a lot of panels were bolt-on, but there was still welded on stuff. So, but, you know, that's what it was about. It was like you had to, you know, it'd be like a 2, 3-part, 4-part series. You wait till next month and get the next part, and that's how you learn how to do stuff. That's how I learned to paint and how to learn to work on a lot of things. Every month. Love them magazines. But it is much better on YouTube because you can just look up what it is you're wanting to find information to. Where back in the day, you had to go through a whole pile of magazines to try to find an article on how to change whatever. Hope that you had one. Because you didn't always have all the articles you needed. Let's see if this fits on here. It'd be nice if it would. If not, it might curtail my sanding adventure today. It's still coming off. My hook and loop is done. Yeah, I'll try, but I don't think it's gonna work. Not working too bad. Yeah, that's good. Let's get all those things. No, what was bolted here? Something was here. Was it the fender? What? Something was bolted right there, but I'll have to go up and look at my other truck, find out. But that's working. But you know, this is going to take a while, and it's going to be noisy, and there's really no other way to do it. You know, if you're going to do this, this is it. You pretty much have to just do it, and it's going to be making a lot of noise. So I don't know how much of this I'll put in the video, but we'll just go from there. Go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a new hook and loop on this thing. I don't know how you do that. But anyway, so that's not going to work out like I'd like to. So I can do some more scraping, I guess, until I can get me a new pad there. All right, let's see here. I just hadn't had this handy dandy little scraper here. It's really like a gasket scraper, but it works pretty good for this. So I'm going to do some of that. See, like here's some right here. Again, this isn't exciting, I know. May not even put it in there. But I'll record it and we'll go from there. Get that off, and it'll make it so much easier to sand this thing. A little bit right there. A little bit here too. I'm thankful they put this undercoating on it. It really saved this. Really saved this cab. I had a 56 Chevy car a while ago, and it had been sitting, I don't know where. It looked like it had been sitting out some field somewhere, but it just rusted all up. There was not a drop of undercoating on it anywhere. I don't know if that was the norm back in them days or what, but and because of that and where it was sitting at, it just was not protected in any way, and man, the floor rotted out of it. This whole piece down here was all rotten out. And so it's nice when they have this undercoating. I don't know when I get done if I'm going to put it back on, because this is not going to be a daily driver. I'm just going to drive it once in a while. Not going to be no show truck. Just make it look somewhat decent, you know. And just enjoy the fruits of my labor, taking it for a drive once in a while, you know. I'm sure I'll use it as a truck. I got a little trailer I haul, and I'll haul a little trailer, but see, this really is where I could probably use my new one. Use my new wire brush at, I don't know. Wire brush it, baby. There's people who do this stuff actually know what they're doing. Me, on the other hand, I don't know. I just do it. I just do what I can, and I don't know. You can too. There's no hard set rules on this stuff. I guess maybe if you're doing it to make a show vehicle or sell it or something, maybe you have to. But your own vehicle, you just do what makes you happy and what works. Takes it off pretty good. Yeah, much better. Hey, that's not too bad. After I get done, I'll sand it, and there's some up there. And we'll get to the inside of the cab. I probably won't be doing this because, oh, that's really good and smooth in there. There's no none of this undercoating on it. And it's actually in really good shape. Probably if I wanted to, I could probably buff it out maybe, but if I had the doors, see, I thought the doors were going to come with it, and they didn't. If I had the doors, well, then they would be the same color as the interior, but I don't, so I'd have to paint the doors anyway. And even if I painted them black like the interior, which I want, it wouldn't look the same because they'd be newly painted and the rest I wouldn't. So, in my opinion, I have no choice but to sand it down and paint it. So that'll be easy because I won't have to use a wire brush and all this stuff, you know. Let's see if we can get a little bit here. Oh yeah, that feels a lot better. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, like right here, a little bit of rust right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the best I can, and I'm going to spray some of that rust reformer on it. Hopefully that'll work. Hopefully it'll help. Yeah, it's not doing a very good job there. I need something else to do that. I don't know. Yeah, that's better. How about there? When I post this video, I'm going to try to fast forward this or just cut it out. I don't know. I don't really know how to work those controls, but I'll do the best I can. Butter. One thing I should do is put my glasses on. Don't forget that, fellas. Put your glasses on. I forget it all the time. I did it one day, and putting that POR 15 on, it got a drop of it in my eye. That was fun. So yeah, you gotta put your glasses on. I mean, you don't have to, but it's wise. Alright, so still a little rough. I don't know if that's paint or what that is. A little bit better. Alright, down here, you know what? That with the grinding wheel. There's something else I found out too. I don't know if you guys knew this, but it seems like after you go a direction for a certain period of time, it seems to bend these things and then they don't work as good. So what I do is periodically I just change the direction, and then it seems like it starts working better again. And then I just switch back when it starts, you know, acting a little like it's not doing anything again. Gotta keep in mind though, if your hand's used to holding it going one direction, all of a sudden you change it, it's gonna take off on you. Let's see here. I need to go get my flashlight. Thought I brought it. Oh, there I did. Here it is. All right. I got bad eyes. I got bad ears, bad eyes. I tell you, that's what happens when you get old. Yeah, there's some rust in there. I'm probably gonna have to maybe use my little grinder on it, help it along a little bit. Yeah, we got in there to do. See if I can set this up over here. Shine a little light on the subject. Okay, that's better. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's better. I think that's all just paint there. That's all paint. Up here, got some of this stuff. Let me see something here. Let me try my little grinder. See if that'll help out some of this rust. That worked pretty good. And then here. Since it's not a show truck, I'm not worried about some of it. I got all the rust off, but you can see it's kind of pitted right there a little bit, but oh well. something here. And you gotta do it however you want. Seems to go a little quicker for me. Get that rust out of there. Yeah. Right there. Oh, that's good. You know, about 10 more years, we'll about have it. Got a little bit right there. Yep. Better. Yeah, once you get all that sanded, shoot some primer on it. Some of that fillable primer. And that should take care of that. I see I got a spot here I got to bend in. Let me see what we got there. I have somewhere amongst all of this stuff, I have a little punch. If I can find it. Alright, where's the flashlight? I'm trying to I can find my punch. I had it last night and I was working on putting these seats in. And the best way to get a real bit to start is to put a little dent in the metal. That seems to work better, so that's what I was doing. Hold on, let me run over here real quick and see if it's over here somewhere. Alright, so I got the punch. What I tried to do was I tried to hit it with a hammer last night. Didn't seem to do too good, so I'm gonna, because it seemed like the whole thing was moving. I just want to get that in there, so I'm gonna take this thing and see if I'll get a little bit better hammer though. Something that's got some oomph. Do it again. Interesting. Yeah, it's better than it was. It's a little better. Yeah. Just enough to knock it down a little bit. Alright, that's nice. We have so much more to do. Alright, let's see. This is, I believe, either for the fender or for the wheel well. This, I believe, is for the wheel well here. This is all down here. You can see it's all undercoating on. That's all got to be sanded off. Up here, look at this. All right, let's see here. Where do I start? There's so much to do. There's just so much to do. All of this. Now this piece, it's a shame. It has bolts here, but not for up here. It's got spot welds in it. So to get it off of there, I would have to drill that out. And it's a shame, you know, they put all these bolts here, why don't they just put some up there? It doesn't make any sense to me. But it would be nice to take this off, because otherwise I gotta try to get all behind this thing, and it's just really bad back in there. This would be good for like sandblasting or media blasting. It's easy to get to that back in there, or get to that back in there. But you can see it's got a lot of that stuff on it. I do with my little. Is this it? Yes. All right, let's see, where was I? I just saw something out right here. Comes off pretty good. You scrape it, but still not that easy. I got this cab on this trailer. That's how I got it here. It was sitting a lot higher because I had a pallet on there, and I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it through the door over there. It was too high, so I had to take the pallet out. And this thing's just too heavy, so I had to basically cut the pallet out and jack it up, pull pieces out. But when I get ready to paint this thing, probably even when I work on the bottom more, I'm gonna jack it back up because I gotta be able to get under it. I wish somehow I could get it off of there and just set it right here without the trailer. I just don't know how to do that. Now I do have a cherry picker, but I don't think my cherry picker would go up that high to pick it up. That's the problem. So I don't really know how I would get this. When we did it, when we loaded it on, that guy had a backhoe, and he just lifted it up with the bucket and set it right on. It was pretty easy to do. But getting it off, I don't know how I would do that. So anyway, it would be nice, make it easier on me. But you know, you do what you gotta do. Now, if you guys got any suggestions, I sure would appreciate them, because this is not gonna be so easy to do it on this trailer. Because when you start getting stuff under here, because it's all gotta be painted under there. I mean, realistically, I guess I could just clean it real good, get any rust spots, and just undercoat it. Because I don't mind undercoating it. I don't need to paint it, as long as I get, you know, the undercoating where it sticks real good. I'll look more into that, but still, I gotta get on it even to clean it. I just pull my trailer out. Maybe I can get in there and power wash this thing. I really don't put a lot of water in the garage. I got so much stuff sitting on the floor around here. Unless I create like a little dam or something, ran it right out, that might work. Alright, so that's there. Down here's some here. There's no other way around this. Manual labor. Yep, that's where manual comes in at. I need to break him out. Get him to take care of this stuff. I'll put my wire brush on if that would. That's exciting. Got it. Gravity will get you every time. Tell you what, let me take this nut off here. I'll tell you what I did on this one. Maybe you guys might want to do it too. As I was taking them off, I was putting them in plastic baggies and marking them, so I know what they go to. Because I did that other truck when I was first doing it. I had bolts, everything. I was like, where in the world do they go? And so that's when I marked everything. Oh yeah, that worked out pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, it's pretty thick right there. I got myself I bought two different blasters. One was a Craftsman, older one, but it was in nice shape. I couldn't get them to work. They kept stopping up. The nozzles kept stopping up on them. So I gave up on them. I mean, I spent more time cleaning the nozzle than I did actually blasting the paint and the rust off. So I gave up on it. I know people use them. I probably just didn't have enough knowledge. Didn't have a big enough one. Maybe it wasn't using the right media. I don't know. But it's just me here. And so if I can't find it on YouTube, or maybe somebody I know, that's it. Just have to put it away. Because you can only waste so much time on something. That's why I decided to do this cab. I worked on the other cab for a long time. I replaced so much stuff on it, but it was a long way from being done. And I thought, you know, this one, I just do a little bit of cleaning, place that a little bit over there, and sand it, and good to go. And it had the automatic in it, which I really like that. Had a good wire harness under there. Y'all up there, the wire harness been all chopped to pieces. So, you know. But if I wouldn't have got such a good deal on this, I wouldn't have done it, because I only paid $400 for this cab, and that's really just super cheap. I was looking at other cabs that were in similar shape, man, they want like $1,000, $1,200, and don't even dare get one that's completely rust-free from Texas. Now you're talking $2,500, $3,000. So this one I have a little bit of work to do, but that's okay. It's just going to be a lot less than on that other one. Been a couple of years on this little section. I might go and take all these bolts out. It might help me. What do you think? These I don't worry so much about, but these sticking out here, probably go in there on the floor and unscrew those little suckers here, here, and here. Probably make it easier on me. Well, I do things the easy way. Well, you can do them the hard way. You don't want to spoil yourself. Next thing you know, you'd be sitting around sipping tea out of a cup with a little umbrella on it, thinking you're the dog. Yeah, so you don't want to spoil yourself. Just want to have some fun. And do it like Burger King says, have it your way. Somebody might come up and say, man, that's stupid. I don't know why you, hey, easy. I'm doing it my way. I like my fries with ketchup, not with barbecue sauce. You know, I know you like the fries with barbecue sauce. Well, that's you. So, that's what Derek always says from White Creek Garage. Just do it how you like it. Don't worry about anybody else, you know. That's the way I look at it. Let me see if I can get my wire brush in there. I don't really need to have all this on there now, I guess. I don't know, maybe, let's see, can I go? Let me see if I can turn this thing a little bit downward or something. Did that get out of my way, or did it get more in my way? Right here it might be. All right, we'll see. Yeah. All right. I do one of those small wire brushes. You even got a spot weld here, spot weld there. So even if you unscrew these, they probably don't really go to this thing. That's probably holding something else in there because there's spot weld all over the place on this thing. And you can feel them. They got little points sticking up. Those are the ones you gotta be careful of. You think you're doing good. Next thing you know, you cut yourself. Because you don't see them little suckers. At least I don't. Mine are bad. Let me see if I can pick that back up. That might do it, hopefully. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's enough of that. Hitting that little puppy right there. That's clean though, I think. Yes, right here is something. Hope this paint job turns out better than the other one I did. I got a little bit of experience from the last one. Funny how you go from used to painting a bunch of cars and train cars and big trucks and then all of a sudden, you know, 40 years later or whatever, 35, I almost can't even remember my name. Let's see if I can turn it the other way. That's something I find about these two is sometimes they go better depending on the angle that you're at, the direction you turn that thing at. I want to try to remember when I get this done, see all these. This was all caulk in there, whatever they call that, seam sealer. I want to try to get seam sealer back in there. I scraped it all out. Guess got a little bit more here to do. That really does protect those seams, you know. What's over there? Let's see if I can. Too bad, better than it was. Yeah, it's better. Yeah. Wish I had somebody do this. Need me a flunky. New guy, that's what I need. The new guy to do this stuff. I like working on vehicles, but I don't like this kind of junk. Same thing with houses. I like working on houses and fixing them up. I just don't like sheetrock working any way, shape, or form. I don't mind installing it. I just don't want to put any putty on it and be doing that. Not my thing. All right, let's see what we got back here. Turn it the other way. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's doing pretty good, Jen. Again, there's that seam sealer back here. I'm gonna have to get that out, and you can do all of this. It's all before it's painted now. At least I think that's when you do it. It's before it's painted. I'm gonna try to cut this video off around about an hour. Seems like it's been going about 45 minutes now. I don't bore you guys too bad. Ladies and gentlemen. back here. I have to get a bigger one to reach all the way down in there. I really want to get that clean, but it doesn't reach down in far enough. It's a lot better though. If I get that wiped off, like here, I got a little bit more to do over here, and then I'm gonna wipe that down real good, and then I'm gonna spray that this stuff on it, etching primer, keep that from rusting. When I get ready to paint it, I'll just sand the whole thing down real good. Put me some primer on it. And probably sand that down. Better. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, I got to dig that out of there. Let's see here. What do I have to do that with? It fell right off. Let's see. I know what I need. I need a screwdriver. Here we go. Let me get a smaller screwdriver. Let's see what this will work. Actually pretty good. You might be able to. There's a bit there. Yeehaw! Yeah, it's got a pretty good gap there. That's why they really loaded that up there. You know what? I should move you guys so you don't keep looking at my back. I think I'll move you over here. How about that? That might be better. That way you can see what I'm doing there. Oh, that's better, that whole piece. I don't want that. I just want to get this old stuff out of there. See here. Let me try that big one again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, here we go. All right. A little piece stuck right here. You know. I got something. Where's that? Oh, that's the back side of that bolt. All right. All right. There we go. We're getting it. Yeah, man. a little bit here. There we go. Mucho better. Now if I can get me that, break out here. This might be able to do better. Get the wire brush back up on it. I guess you can see that there. I turned it. I don't know if you can see, but down there they put caulk. There's like a gap down in there. And you can, and I know why. Like if you look at, see these bolts, how they stick out right here? That's where the back of it's in there. Well, because that sticks out right there. This part here goes flat, but that part doesn't. So it's got this big gap back there. So if you don't put caulk in there, like they had, well, you're going to end up with rust in there. A little bit better. A little bit better. That's right there, though. Oh, let's try this. That's what takes so much time is preparation. You got to prep everything. You got to get everything clean and neat, and then you got to wipe it down, degrease it, wipe it down again. And before it's all said and done, you got to tack rag it, and good night. But if you want to stick, that's what you got to do. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. All right, that's pretty good there. All right, let's go here. So, yeah, I'll probably take that wire brush, all this, and probably seal every bit of that all the way around, just to keep any water from getting up in there. Because the other truck that I worked on, the things in the bed are like little hooks in the bed, but when they welded that on the inside, they it had a gap, sort of like this, all the way around, but they didn't caulk it, and so salt got down in there and whatever else, and just rusted that whole thing right out. I had to cut the whole thing off and redo that whole section, all because they didn't put no caulk. They put some caulk in there or whatever you call it, body stuff. That would have solved that problem, you know. Alrighty, so we're getting there. What's up here? Let's see here. Let's get back to here so you can see what I'm doing. Bear with me on this. I appreciate it. I keep forgetting. I got to keep you guys here so you can see. It's nice to hear my voice, maybe, but you can't see what's going on. How many times I gotten frustrated with guys are doing this and the camera's not quite right. You're like, hey man, I can only see part of it. What are you doing? Yeah, they're not doing it on purpose. It's just not getting it. Not getting it quite right. Need to be able to see what you're looking at. Like if I had a screen and the camera on the same side, well then I could do that. But for some reason on this other one, the way it is, I can't seem to get both. I don't know why. Yeah, that's pretty good there. What's that? There we go, a little bit. That's not too bad. I mean, most of that's just dirt. See that? Yeah. Another spot weld. And if you can, when you're doing this, if you can wear a mask, that would be fantastic. I can't seem, I don't know if it's because of the size of my nose or what, but I can't seem to wear a mask and glasses at the same time. It just fogs up my glasses. And then I can't see anything. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's best to wear both. This is why cars are so expensive to build. It's all that labor you got to put into it. Sometimes some of these cars you see somebody selling them for 35 grand and you're like, oh my goodness, well that's crazy. She's probably got 75,000 in it. Get a little bit down here. Let me see where we're at time-wise. Yeah, we're almost at an hour. I'm gonna cut it off around about an hour. I don't know how long you guys can put up with me. See, that's why I wish I could have took this off. I could have took this off. I'm not gonna draw them out, but it'd be a lot of work. I don't want to do that. But taking this off, all this would be out of the way. The bolts would be out of the way. Then it'd be so much easier to do. But it's not worth it to me. Getting there, looking good. Yeah. There'll still be a lot of sanding in there. This is really just dirt. Look at that. I'm not sure about that. That's where my master cylinder goes right here. Ah, not bad. Just the other way. Yeah, got that good.